Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the always online multiplayer gaming podcast brought to you by mmorpg.com, your home for all things multiplayer related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, aka magicman, as always, and this is episode 477, hanging out on Twitch live, twitch.tv/mmobomb, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you want to join in on the show, we got chat getting ready to chime in on a bunch of things, because basically it was not E3 week this past week and a half. It was totally not E3. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on iTunes or Spotify, thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Make sure you click like, subscribe, thumbs up, turn on those notifications. Most importantly, on MMOBomb and YouTube, chime in with your weekly bomb or question of the week answers. We got a good one for you later about said not E3. Joining me to go over all the fun stuff, Mr. Troy Blackburn. What's up, Noob Fridge?
Hello, Internet. How are you today? I am good. Thank you for asking.
I don't think they asked.
They care. They care, damn it.
Pretty sure they don't. I mean, I didn't even care enough to ask. So,
Yikes.
Also on the line, Mr. Dom Greco. What's up, sir?
Hello. How
It's
are
nice
you?
to have you back. Nice to have you
Thank
back.
you.
It's been a while. I tried to get you on one earlier, but it didn't work with, I think you were at PAX or something that weekend.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, for the old Goose Duck. How's it going over at GGD?
It's going well. Been really busy. New game modes, new maps. We just announced map 10, Eagleton Springs, to be released soon. So, very busy.
Nifty.
Yep.
Social deduction at its finest. Everything's going afoul.
Is it just going to be one of those days for you?
Let's go to the news. Dom, if you don't like my jokes, you can just charge me. Put it on my bill. Let's talk about the not week of E3 that was actually a little over a week. I know we talked about some of the smaller stuff last time, but so what I figure we do today, and obviously there was a ton of stuff, and we're going to focus mostly on the multiplayer stuff, since this is a multiplayer gaming podcast and MMOBomb is a multiplayer gaming site. But I figure off the top, gents, I'd give you a little chance to talk about just kind of your general feelings, some of your favorite reveals, whether it was at the Xbox showcase or the Capcom showcase or the Ubisoft Forward or it doesn't matter. Summer Games Fest, next Games Fest, like whatever event, whatever games. What were you seeing on the board, Dom, that really just has you smiling, whether it's multiplayer or not?
Oh, come on. We all know that Skull and Bones.
So what's funny is I was writing with Troy in Discord, and I was like, and he wasn't on yet, and so I was watching the Ubisoft Forward, and so I was just like basically taking notes in a little in our Discord chat between him and I. I've said, hey, your second piece today is going to be covering the multiplayer stuff from the Ubisoft Forward. It's on right now. And then it was just like enter. And it was just like goofy stuff, like so-and-so's running this crossover, so-and-so's running this crossover. We're getting a little bit of Division news. Oh, wait, it's just the mobile. They're not talking about the home front or homestead or whatever that other one is. They didn't talk about it. We got to Skull and Bones. I watched the Skull and Bones thing. It was literally Home Free performing a sea shanty, and then a few-minute trailer. The trailer was whatever. Like, okay, still did its same thing.
Sea Shanty was amazing.
And that's literally in our conversation. I was like, Troy, honestly, when you go back and watch this, I feel like the best thing in here had nothing to do with the game. It was Home Free singing this sea shanty.
I just rewatched, I'm in the middle, I should say, of rewatching Gallivant. And the episode I just left off on was the landlocked pirates singing their sea shanty. And it's just like, oh, this is great.
We get to Troy's article. He says, hey, my article's ready. Go ahead and proofread it. And I look at the headline and I'm like, my man. It said Ubisoft Forward 2023 recap features the best thing we've seen from Skull and Bones and much more. And I'm like, that is a fantastic headline. Because you're like, oh, what did they see? In the article, Skull and Bones is a game we've been following here at MMOBomb for quite some time, and quite frankly, it's failed to impress so far. Today may have been the best thing Skull and Bones has produced so far, and it wasn't even gameplay. It was the band Home Free who took the stage and sang a chilling sea shanty about the game. On the gameplay side of things, there's an open beta incoming for Skull and Bones, and it'll be running from August 25th through 28th, as long as there's no more delays, of course. I was like, my man.
I genuinely want this game to do well. I want to enjoy it.
I don't.
Like,
not anymore. No. I want this to hit an iceberg and sink.
I just want a good pirate game, though. That's all I want.
This ain't it, bro.
Yeah, this one is not it for sure.
Like, come on. I get the whole sense of like wanting a good pirate game. But is there anything, like trying to be positive, is there anything you have seen from this game, Dom, that makes you go, maybe it still could be a good pirate game?
Yeah, the initial launch. the very first thing they ever showed. Because like this came out around the time of like when Sea of Thieves was either being released or like was being shown off for like a big upcoming patch or something like that, and I was like looking side by side at the two, and I was like, oh, this is the game that I wanted. I don't want Sea of Thieves. Like I want a less cartoony feeling, more real pirate game. And this one just really piqued my interest, and I was really looking forward to it. But it's just like everything I've seen, it's kind of been very disappointing outside of this sea shanty. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's just going to be, for me, just a fun shipwreck to watch. See what I did there, Troy? Like, I didn't say train wreck. I said shipwreck.
I don't know if I can continue to work under these conditions.
So, all right, Skull and Bones. But seriously, Dom, what did you see this week that really just has you going, okay, yeah, you got my attention. I'm in.
I know it's controversial because of the price thing, but I'm still looking forward to the Overwatch PvE. I don't care if they've stripped all the features out. I don't care that they put a price tag on it. I really just still want to play some PvE in Overwatch. That's really all I want. That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that specifically in a little bit here because you have a bad take on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Internet not happy about that one. Troy, anything sticking out for you?
Starfield looks generic and boring.
What? What?
It has failed to impress me thus far. I have not seen anything that would make me want to spend time or money in the game. Nothing at all has piqued my interest. I know they've shown a lot of stuff that a lot of people want to hear, want to see, but just for me personally, it just hasn't done anything so far.
All right, I don't know if I can work under these conditions. That's a take. I mean, that is a take.
We all woke up and chose violence today.
Yeah. All the flavors that we could have woken up and taken, and we all took salty.
Hey, you want a positive one? That pigeon game.
Oh yes, yeah. Troy makes fun of me for that too.
No, that game looks amazing.
Okay, I think you're nuts, Troy. And let me put a caveat on this. I'm hugely nervous for Starfield. It's Bethesda. It's had its delays. It's Bethesda. The launches aren't always good because it's Bethesda. We've seen this same hype train before for No Man's Sky. Granted, that wasn't Bethesda. This is Bethesda. I don't know if I've made the point enough that Bethesda makes me nervous. Mm-hmm. Microsoft owning Bethesda makes me nervous. Redfall was an absolute cluster. And honestly, somebody came out in an interview just this week and was like, yeah, no, Arcane's not going anywhere. But they might. So I'm hugely nervous for Starfield. I want this to be very, very good. And I loved everything they showed off. But I am like that hesitant, You almost got me with No Man's Sky on this before, and it took years to make No Man's Sky what you wanted it to be at launch. Can you do it with Starfield? I hope so. I'm loving what I see, but I do have that like trepidation about the title because it's Bethesda and because we've done this exact hype train for this exact type of game before, and it didn't really work out so well.
Yeah, it's a company known for buggy, broken releases and having modders coming in and fixing things.
Yeah, and I mean it does have like almost impossible levels of hype to live up to at this point. But
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, could it even live up to the hype, even if it's good?
Yeah, I am super interested. Like I'm way more interested now that I have seen some stuff. More things than we had before. Are you interested in Starfield at all, Dom?
No.
Why?
Really.
It's just not your type of game, or you didn't like what you saw?
Type of game.
Ah, okay.
It's not my type of game. Yeah.
Gotcha. Baron Vagabond says, if it ain't good when it releases, I'm out. No second chances. I haven't played No Man's Sky. I know it's a lot better. I know it is. I cover it, right? Like, but it's the same thing. I moved on to other things. The same will happen to Starfield, but it is definitely one I'm kind of watching out for. Also, Star Wars Outlaws. I just want a Nyx. Like, give me a Nyx. Like, that's. Can I have that little guy? Just give me that little guy. He was awesome. I don't care what the rest of the game is like. I like Nyx. On the multiplayer front, I think we would be remiss if we didn't start with our friends over at Grinding Gear Games and Path of Exile 2. I'm specifically showing one video, but they released multiple videos of different classes for Path of Exile 2 throughout multiple different presentations this last week. And they have plans for their ExileCon to give us a whole lot more, huh, Troy?
Yeah, they've got a lot more information coming. We got, like you said, we got multiple videos, but it just kind of shows gameplay, not really talking or anything about it, no details going into what the game's going to be, what it's going to be like. You just sort of have to extrapolate what you can out of the videos that we've got. This particular one, I think the lightning spells look absolutely fantastic in this one. And I like the way the boss monster comes running out of the wall and stuff.
What was interesting to me is like it almost feels like in this particular video you're fleeing instead of like going into a dungeon.
Yeah,
like,
you're just kind of trying to like make a safe exit.
Yeah.
So we're going to know a lot more on June 28th. There's going to be a big presentation. And I believe they said that we were going to get a beta date then, too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm double-checking myself because I don't quite remember that off the top of my head.
So,
yes,
visually.
yeah, at ExileCon, we're going to get a beta date announcement, too. They've literally said that this is everything there is to know about Path of Exile 2 will be revealed at ExileCon June 28th and 29th, including the beta date.
Just visually, do you guys think this looks better than Diablo 4?
I'm going to defer to Troy because I haven't actually played Diablo, so everything that I see from Diablo is like the highly rendered and, processed stuff to make it look as best it can. I'm not like watching somebody else stream, but since Troy, you have been playing D4, I'll defer to you here.
I think D4 looks overall better. This definitely looks better than the original Path of Exile to me. It's definitely graphically an upgrade from the original version of this game. Like I said, the spell effects and stuff, the lightning and stuff, I think looks better than some of the spell effects that I've seen in Diablo 4. But overall, graphically, it's probably on par with Diablo 4.
Mm-hmm. Timbo James saying, I think the mage actually looks better than Diablo's sorcerer. I just hope that the feel is there. That is something that I will say the first Path of Exile did get really, really right. Like, those classes feel fantastic to play. Like, you pick a favorite class, you're going to love it. I may not agree with all of the design decisions they've made in Path of Exile through the years, but that's one I can't fault them for. And I will say this, too. Like, if you have to compare Blizzard to Grinding Gear Games, like, there is no comparison there, right? Like, they're just, like, even from a press standpoint, they're infinitely, they're so open with us. Like, I have Grinding Gear Games information for ExileCon already. I can't talk about it, obviously, but we're prepped and ready to go. And I'm sure they're going to drop a lot more on me like 2 or 3 days out ahead. I just have some basic stuff right now. But they are always just so on it. And, like, we sit down with their CEO and their president, and we chat. We play the game, and we put up interviews with them. It's just it is nice working with that team. So I have kind of like a soft affection for Path of Exile, even though it's not a game I dabble in every single day.
Yeah. I'm excited to see like what they're doing with the talent trees and stuff. Are we getting another giant sphere grid? Like what is going on here? Yeah.
I also do like that they're kind of building it like one client, right? Where you'll be able to jump from Path of Exile 1 to Path of Exile 2 in the same clients or launcher, etc. type deal. Not it's still one game, even though it's the original and sequel. I just like those like nice little touches, those convenience touches.
Seamless transitions.
Yeah. It's not, hey, buy the new sequel and then just drop everything before it. Here you go. Now you have both. You got to like that type of stuff. PalWorld is one that a lot of us have been eagerly watching, A, to see if Nintendo ever steps in and tries to sue them, and B, when it's going to come out. Now, we did get to see some PalWorld this week from the Summer Game Fest. But we also got to see that, the early access launch window has moved. And it's not like they had an exact date yet, but things they had said prior seemed to indicate the end of 2023. Now it's being pushed into January 2024 for early access. So a little bit of a delay on the PalWorld front. Exactly, Takao. Just legally distinct. The best type of distinct. And I think I said that on something last week, and somebody commented it'll be in the weekly bombs, which, by the way, chat, let me know. I need some weekly bombs from you, and question of the week answers is SWOTOR doomed with the new developer? Let us know, and I'll throw them into the comments. When we get there, you can do your highlighting thing. I would imagine, Dom, that this is a game you are eagerly anticipating, if I know anything about you, my friend.
Pokemon with machine guns? How can I turn it down? Rocket launchers? Like, what? Oof, I'm in.
Early access in January. A little sad. Troy, are you looking forward to this one? I know you don't do a lot of console gaming, so I can't imagine you as like a big Pokemon guy, but
no, not a big Pokemon guy. The Pokemon with machine guns isn't really doing it for me. I just chose negativity today, I guess.
Oh wait, did I get this wrong? Yeah. Oh, okay, I got to fix something in that article. So yeah, PalWorld in January. The Ubisoft, we could touch on it a little bit real quick here. The Ubisoft thing, Skull and Bones, the best thing about it was the home free performance at the beginning. Some of the other stuff we saw, though, Troy, what else did Ubisoft drop on the table from a multiplayer standpoint?
Oh, we got to see a little bit of X-Defiant in the new trailer. There's going to be 14 maps at launch with 5 factions, 24 different weapons. So we got to see some of that. Brawlhalla, they showed off a crossover with Master Chief. Roller Champions is getting a Jet Set Radio crossover. As Mike added to the article, yes, it's still going.
Sometimes I add little nuggets to articles.
And then Riders Republic is also getting into the skate game. They're adding skating into their game as well.
Mm-hmm. I still love Riders Republic. I haven't played it in so long though. I'm like, I love it. When's the last time you played it? I don't know.
I don't know. There are just games like that, aren't there? Like you really like the game, but you just don't ever get around to it.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls is one of those sometimes for me. Like I'll go on kicks where it's an everyday thing for a month and a half, and then 6 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I still play Elder Scrolls. Let me go ahead and update that. Let me go update that file real quick. Yeah. Oh God, Tom. Someday
carrying it over across companies, cross shows.
Someday you will.
Someday I'll get to Mario Rabbids.
Someday you will open that game. Are either of you interested in X-Defiant? Or is that just like kind of another shooter for both of you?
I think it's just another shooter to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Takal, Division 2 is that game for you. Yeah, Division 2 is definitely that game for me. Oh, I play that. And actually, it gets worse with Division 2, though, because Division 2 is always when I do go back, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to start a new character again. I don't remember what the hell I was doing or anything going on. So I constantly just end up in this cycle of restarting the Division 2 over and over and over again.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first Division so much, and then I got kind of salty when they like moved to Division 2, because it's just like Division 1 didn't meet all the expectations, everything that I wanted from it. And then 2 comes out, and I played the beta, and I'm like, this feels very much like the same thing. Like, they didn't need to make a second game. They could have just made like an expansion, and then I would have been happy. But
yeah, I know
that's.
I mean, it was really weird that Overwatch did. Oh, you were talking about the Division. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was fixing to make the exact same point.
The difference between that is one you had to pay for, and the other you didn't.
No, you're going to pay for it. We'll get to that in a few minutes. You're definitely going to pay for it. One thing I will point out on the Ubisoft thing, too, it wasn't technically there. Like, they did the Brawlhalla crossover with Master Chief and everything, right? How was, like, if you are a Halo Infinite fan, I know it's had a rocky, start-ish, and it seems to be making some improvements and stuff, like, but how was that not shown in any way, shape, or form at the Xbox showcase, Troy? That, like, kind of put up a flag to me that it was like, oh yeah, we've absolutely abandoned this.
Yeah, what should be and has been for a long time one of your flagship franchises. Yeah, for it not to make an appearance in anything other than a crossover for Brawlhalla.
Yeah, which wasn't even shown there. It was shown at the Ubisoft Forward showcase. I don't know, man. I'd be kind of miffed if I was a Halo Infinite fan, because they do keep like talking about all these different improvements, these plans. Like, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this. They're trying to make players happy. They're trying to make the game better. They've had interviews where they come out, Dom, and they say, no, it's not going anywhere. People are leaving the team. We're putting other people on the team. We've been getting a new focus. And then to not even like try to call attention to it in like a buffer, a bump trailer or anything like that, I thought was a little weird.
I mean, if you just ignore it, it goes away, right? All the problems just go away if you don't say anything.
I guess.
Not true, but that's what companies like to think.
That's what they like to think. Then we got Dune Awakening. Now, this footage is kind of a behind-the-scenes thing, so the B-roll here is going to jump from live stuff to gameplay and things like that. I got to admit, when Dune Awakening was first announced, I didn't care. I like the Dune franchise. I'm perfectly fine with it. Whether or not you like the new movie and its subsequent sequels that are coming, whatever. It's personal flavor. Did they do the books justice, et cetera, et cetera? But we got all kinds of things from the PC gaming show on the multiplayer front. Dune Awakening was kind of the biggest one because it was like they had almost a 15-minute video with all this behind-the-scenes stuff and the development of the game and everything. I got to admit, when I walked away from watching this, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a little more interested now.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous that they brought up water management as much as they did. Like, I get it. It's a survival game.
Dude, you're on a desert planet.
I know, but I'm worried it's going to be one of those games where you die of thirst every 30 freaking seconds.
Well, you could play a game we're going to talk about later, Undawn, and you could worry about thirst and cold and the elements and peeing and pooping and your skin hygiene and the laundry of your clothes, and you could go that way.
We're going to talk about it later? I thought we were talking about it right now.
No.
But overall, I'm definitely interested in Dune Awakening. I think it looks interesting. I think it's coming from a company who have proven with Conan Exiles that they can do a survival game and do it well. The people who play that game really enjoy it. I don't know that it took off as huge as they thought it might have, but it's a pretty good sized game. It's got a pretty good sized following. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do with the Dune franchise, as long as it's not just like a straight one-to-one clone of Conan Exiles, and there's some original ideas and some actually Dune IP stuff, really affecting the gameplay.
Right.
I think it could be really cool.
The feeling that I have for like Dune right now is the same feeling that I had back when Star Wars Galaxies was announced, where I'm very, very excited to go explore this world that I'm familiar with and get to live and breathe and explore like firsthand. Galaxies was a letdown, so I'm very very cautiously like walking into this, but I am very excited for it. Like I cannot wait to get this in my hands.
And I should note that the game footage you see in this trailer is they wanted to really call out this is alpha footage. Things could look a lot different by the time you actually get your hands on this one. Other multiplayer items that did make appearances at the PC gaming show. Obviously, we talked of Path of Exile 2. Stampede Racing Royale. Okay, that looks like dumb fun, doesn't it?
It does. There's so many like racing games coming out all of a sudden. Like where were these when like Mario Kart was the only one, like 10 years ago, and everybody wanted more racing games? And like, let's be honest, I don't care that Mario Kart was the most popular. We all know Diddy Kong Racing was the best.
We also got another Wayfinder trailer as that game heads towards its early access. This was their Summer Game Fest trailer. Honestly, I was less than impressed with that. It was just another few minutes of a differently cut Wayfinder trailer. Didn't really show off anything new. Not that that's bad, right? They're just trying to use it as an ad to a bigger audience that may not see them. It just wasn't anything new for us, that's all. And then the thing that stole the show, that Troy mocked me mercilessly in Discord over. I actually, hold on. I'm going to pull up what you said because I can't. I got to quote you directly when you let me know that this piece was done. Where is Troy? There's Noob Fridge. Let me scroll up. I assigned this one to him. Here it is. So this is Headbangers Rhythm Royale, a 30-person battle royale rhythm-based game. And as if that wasn't like right up my alley enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
A rhythm-based game. Now with a little competitive bent on it that isn't just like making the score leaderboards type competitive bent. It's headbanging pigeons. These pigeons are boss, man. They are boss. And I assigned it to Troy, and I said, this looks like really funny as hell. I used the F word, but... and Troy, when he typed the article and was letting me know it was done, he said, pigeon shit is done. And today I learned I struggle typing the word rhythm over and over.
I did. I struggle with those. Sometimes it just be like that when you're typing. And rhythm was just tearing me a new one during that article.
Don't ignore the pigeon shit is done. Look at this. How cute
so
is
good.
This? Look at that.
God.
Oh my God.
This is like the next big
Wait.
It's Fall Guys.
This is the next big Twitch game right here.
Yeah. They have all like the different Fall Guys skins and stuff going on already.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I am one. Look at this.
Hats.
Their queen. It's got mocking queen right there. It does look fun, chat, right?
It does.
Yeah, so I am definitely looking forward to Headbangers Rhythm Royale, a pigeon
Get
game.
a little Beatles reference going on right there.
Yeah. When does this come out? Do we know? Do we have a release date here for this one? No, they just did a reveal trailer. No release date on it yet. It's just coming soon on Steam. Yeah, it's just coming soon.
Sometime this year.
Cross-platform multiplayer, online PvP. I love the about this. Have you ever looked at a pigeon and thought, what is going on in your head? Well, think no more. Headbangers puts you and 29 others into the eye of the pigeon while you battle it out in rhythmic challenges to find out who's the ultimate master headbanger. Compete against each other in mind-bending musical minigames, screw over your competitors with power-ups, and collect crumbs to customize your very own pigeon. Hell yes. Hell yes. It does look hilarious. Thank you. See, Troy, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you should be ashamed. You're wrong on Starfield. You're wrong on Headbangers.
Yeah, we'll see about Starfield.
Yeah,
Starfield's a little too early to say, but you're definitely wrong on Headbanger.
You're 100% wrong on Headbangers.
Yeah.
All right, let's cover some other miscellaneous news. Some of this stuff did happen at various game shows this week, but some of it was just general news too. Dom is definitely buying the lame-ass PvP edition to Overwatch 2. Prices start at a minimum of $15 and go up from there for some, invasion bundles at $40 and things like that. Remember, not doing the PvE to the extent that they had originally planned in any way, shape, or form. They're dropping little co-op stories, missions here and there in smaller doses. And in the upcoming Season 6 Invasion, you'll be able to get the first set of these. $15, 3 missions, a legendary skin for Sojourn, Overwatch coins, and access to Sojourn for new players that joined after her inclusion. So not only are we getting the PvE scaled way back, but now it also has a slapped-on price tag as a standard DLC package would, and Dom is all here for it. What?
Yeah, no, I'm jumping on. This is what I wanted. This is all I wanted from Overwatch 2. I didn't want all the rest of Overwatch 2. If they just like all this new fancy UI and new heroes and I didn't want any of it. I'm sick of playing Overwatch in terms of like the PvE or the PvP versus PvP. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sick of it. I want PvE. I still love the franchise. I still love the characters. I still love the story. I want to know more about these characters. I want to experience it hands on. I'm not somebody who wants to sit here and read, even a 4-page short story that Blizzard uploads about their characters. I would rather experience these characters through playing them, learn their story that way. I'll pay $15 for it.
Yeah, but that was the original point of Overwatch 2 to a much bigger degree with progression and skilling and stuff like that. None of that's here. These are just like little bite-sized adventure stories, some of which may not even be canon, they said.
I'm fine with that. I'm a fan of the MCU and the DCU. Would you think I'm not familiar with multiverse?
Dom's buying it and never opening it, says Baron Vagabond. Never opens
the
it.
Overwatch 2 multiverse.
I've played Diablo 4 at least. I still haven't touched Zelda or Mario Rabbids yet.
I even as an Overwatch super casual, I wouldn't even think about giving them money for this, Troy.
Hell no. Why would you put stories in your game if they aren't canon? I don't understand that at all, first of all.
Because they couldn't ditch PvE entirely. They had to do something. And they were like, well, let's just make up stuff and charge for it.
And it's probably going to take you 15 minutes to play it. So is that still worth $15?
$1 a minute, maybe.
$1 a minute. Call my 900 number, Dom. Shit, you could just spend that money calling me, brother.
Yeah, just call me for $1 a minute, and I'll read you Overwatch lore.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm gonna play through it once?
$1 a minute. We'll have a 15-minute conversation that I guarantee will be more entertaining.
You gotta play through multiple characters to get all their story, so it's definitely more than 15 minutes of play.
They do say that this season, by the way, is the bigger than previous seasons. Definitely bigger. We don't want to save up content and save it for these giant releases years down that line. That's what a box release would be for a game.
Oh, you mean the way that World of Warcraft patches now, where they only do giant, massive patches? Where the days of, hey, Mordon's done, let's just throw that out. 2 weeks later, there's a new quest line in the Badlands, No, give us this kind of stuff. Give us little, tiny, bite-sized content to hold us over. That's exactly what I want for Overwatch.
We typically don't go into depth in-game with our stories. That changes with the upcoming missions, and they're going to focus on the moment when Overwatch gets back together and answers Winston's recall. So kind of seeing where Overwatch 2 started is where we're going to pick up. Yeah, whatever.
And that's how you end up like SWTOR too, by the way, is where everything just turns bite-sized.
Yeah.
Even the major updates.
I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I think Manny's mouth, that there's a fee attached to even get started in this. That in any way, shape, or form, there's a fee. Embracer Group. This a little interesting and maybe a little concerning, depending on your favorite games out there. Embracer Group has announced that layoffs will be coming as the company shifts focus, and some game studios could close, but they haven't discussed publicly what, besides to say kind of projects that are deemed to not have the return that they initially thought that they would, or be low return, those projects could go away. This, as the company just went through a massive mergers and acquisitions period, right? Buying up everything, including Middle-earth Enterprises and Gearbox and all kinds of things. And now a lot of that spend is coming home to roost, and they need to make themselves a little leaner and stuff. So on the gaming side of this thing, Troy, we've got Gearbox Entertainment, owned by them. That includes Gearbox itself, which I wouldn't think that studio's going anywhere, right?
Yeah, surely not.
Yeah, with Borderlands and all that fun stuff that they do, that stuff's making money. But you do have Cryptic Studios as part of Gearbox now, right? Perfect World Entertainment got picked up by Embracer and shoved into the Gearbox Entertainment umbrella. So that puts in there things like Star Trek Online, Neverwinter, some other titles I'm sure I'm forgetting, but those are two of the bigger ones. Do you see a world in which one of those two or some of their other products under Cryptic go away? City of Heroes, Champions Online. So yeah, there's a couple others. Yeah, thanks, chat.
Yeah, I don't want to because I really enjoy Star Trek Online, and I dive into Neverwinter every now and then. Could I see a world where one of those go away? Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I could see a world where layoffs either affect them so badly that it just becomes maintenance mode, or they just go away altogether.
Don't they also own things like Dark Horse Comics and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they own a bunch of, like literally, like I said, Middle-earth Enterprises, which that one's paying off, right? Amazon's given them a ton of money for different Middle-earth stuff. But we do have to look back, and it was just like a week or two ago that this company announced, hey, to investors, we lost $1 billion deal or $2 billion deal that we thought was going to go through. Letters of intent, we thought we were signing paperwork tomorrow, and all of a sudden, that's not there. It's kind of easy to see why, okay, we're going to go ahead and need a course correction on this. Now, they didn't announce who that third party was, but is there a world where you see some of these? Here's another one for you, Dom. Flying Wild Hog. If you don't know, like the multiplayer thing they got going right now is Space Punks, and I don't know when the last time I wrote about Space Punks was. I don't even know if it actually officially launched. Did it? Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's see. Play now. Yeah, I know you can play for free now. Yeah. But what are you listed as on Steam? Are you still in early access? Oh, you're on Epic Game Store. Dear God. All right, that'll take 7 hours to come up. So.
Yeah. No wonder you don't hear about it anymore. It's on that.
They also have THQ Nordic, and I can't think of any games that THQ is making right now. But I remember THQ used to be super popular.
Yeah,
according to the FAQ, it's all open beta.
Open beta still?
Yeah, everything in the FAQ talks about open beta.
Still waiting for Space Punks to come to consoles? I don't know. You might be waiting a long time now. They're also Embracer's also the one that it's not so much multiplayer, but they bought all those Western Square Enix companies. Remember, they were picking up Tomb Raider and some of those other franchises as well when they picked up Eidos Montreal and some of those from Square Enix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. They didn't say what games, but they did say Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, thanks. They did say this could lead to studio closures.
That would be unfortunate.
Get ready.
Whatever it takes to say record profits at the end of the quarter, right?
Right. Exactly. Now, let's talk about 2 games this week. I've got one for you. I did a first look video for Undawn. That's up on the YouTube page and on the website. This is stop me if you've heard this one before. 4 years after an outbreak, it's a zombie apocalypse. The world ain't doing so good. You got to fight to survive, team up with people, not trust other people. PvE, PvP for PC and mobile devices. Free to play via PC on Steam, featuring the one and only Will Smith as Trey, which I did pat myself on the back a little bit for the way I introduced him in the first look video and the fact that he was in there. What else is big in slaps that could help us promote this game? Will Smith. If you watch the first look, you'll find it. I told chat the same thing before the show that I'm going to say now. It's not a good game. And I don't think even its fans are going to go, this is a great game. It's just not. You do have to manage like DayZ stuff like water and hydration and protection from elements, but then they take it further and you have to poop, you have to pee, you have to exercise, you have to wash your skin, you have to wash your clothes. Like you literally have to manage all of those meters. I likened it to if your sim was forced to play DayZ. Like if you took your sim out of the Sims and made them play DayZ, this is what it is. It's not great on the shooting gunplay. It's not terrible. There is a ton of customization as far as base building and house, like literally ridiculous levels. It's a game that is so mobile, it does not care about its own aesthetic. It is going to sell you the most ridiculous of cosmetics and the most... There was a trailer that I put at the end of the first look in a game menu. It just randomly popped up. I had no idea it was coming. Lucky I recorded it. That showed off building your base as a marble-pillared fountain ballroom. Like, it does not care about its own aesthetic at all. It's going to sell you all these goofy things. It's just not a good game. That
but
said...
Can you take relaxing baths?
You can. Absolutely. But you'd wear your skivvies. You wear your skivvies. Watch the first look. That said, I can't honestly in good conscience recommend it, right? It is so mobile, it is not funny. So mobile. Good luck tracing the payment model and what you can actually convert Cash Shop currency into and what you can't, because it's so obfuscated purposely. It's pay to win, I'm sure. I'm sure there are ways you could massively upgrade and pass a normal player, but people will argue, well, you can get that in game if you grind. Yeah, it only takes 7 years, but whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing at the end of the day, Troy. There's a charm in there. Like, how dumb is that?
Where did you find the charm in this game?
Please? I don't know. I can't tell you, like, you know what, this is kind of fun, and this is what makes it fun. I don't know what it is. There isn't one specific... It is unequivocally a bad game. I think even people that really, really like it will go, yeah, it's kind of bad, but I love it. There is absolutely a charm there. I don't know what it is. It's not going to... I can tell you right now, it's not going to stick long for me, because once you get past that dopamine first 10 hours of them just constantly throwing free stuff at you, then it really turns into the mobile portion. But yeah, there is like a weird... This is kind of fun, and I don't know why, but I know I ain't going to stick with it very long.
Is it like the same way that you have like that song by Biz Markie, Just a Friend, where you have like the off-tune piano, the out-of-key singing, the most basic predictable rhymes, the worst lyrics you've ever heard of, and you take all these things and bundle it together and you get something that you just really enjoy, even though you shouldn't?
Goofy. It's so goofy. I mean, literally, I called it a surprisingly musical first look. Mm-hmm. Because at one point in the first look, I show you that they literally just burst out into a solo aria cutscene where one of these characters is just singing at 4 a.m. in a treehouse while standing guard. Like, there's something charming about a game that is just really, really weird. And this is weird. Like, pee and poop are two different things. Like, it's not just go to the bathroom. It's which one do you want to do and which one do you need to do. Like, it is ridiculous. I started doing goofy things just to see what would break. And I started working out in thunderstorms. Like, just have my character endlessly working out while it was in a thunderstorm and the game's telling me to seek shelter. And I was like, no, I'm going to do push-ups instead in the rain. Like, just anything I could do. It's weird. I accidentally talked to an NPC after I had to talk to him for a quest, and I accidentally hit the F key again and talked to them. And my character was like, hey, you're pretty cool. Do you have a boyfriend? And I'm like, wow, you just met this person. And this is actually in the first look. It's right on the screen right now. Catherine, she turns around and says, why limit yourself to one gender? Keep your options open. And I'm like, what a weird accidental conversation to have just stumbled into with this NPC that I just met. The controls are janky, toggling back and forth between having your mouse and being in fire mode. While I'm used to that, it doesn't always do it when you go to a menu. So you could be in fire mode, open up a full screen menu, and not have a cursor until you remember to hit the Alt key. It's janky as shit, but there's a charm to it, Troy. I'd say it's free, and it's a small-ass download. If you even remotely want to see just goofiness, go play it. Like there's worse ways to spend a few hours, but I can't recommend ever giving it money. Ever. Troy, not interested.
No, I'm sorry. The charm is lost on everyone else, I do believe.
Come on, I can't be the only one. Dom,
It looks like mobile garbage.
It does look like PS2. I think I said that in the first look, that it's like PS2 graphics. It's Unreal 4 and it's made for mobile. Like, it is what it is.
But I think I'm more interested in what Troy's got.
It's like dumb fun is the best fun. You know what's dumb fun? Goat Simulator is dumb fun. This is just dumb.
Right, but you play Goat Simulator and you're like, I have no idea why this is fun, but it is. This does that. And I will be the first to say that I don't think it's going to do it for great long periods of time, because eventually you will get to that point where it is just a chore and a grind like every other mobile game. But you can do worse for a few hours while you get there. Ninja Panda's coming with me? Okay, good. This next one, we don't have a first look yet for. Troy will be doing it, but it's still a bit of ways. But Anakama, the team behind Wakfu and Dofus, they've got Waven coming up, and we've covered it a few times on the site, but Troy actually got access to a current testing, and we weren't allowed to talk about it until an hour and 52 minutes ago. So we're totally okay now to just show you this footage from Troy playing, and Troy, you could take us through, because we like these strategy things. What is Waven offering here in the first few hours that you were able to play a little bit?
What I like most about it was the ability to, like, you start out with a certain number of spells, but as you level up, you start to get choosing your spells. And then you can choose duplicates of your spells to be able to upgrade the ones that you really like. And then there's a certain economy to which spells you're using, because each, certain ones can give you like a fire currency or a water currency. And that's what you use to summon companions. And companions can come out and sort of be like an extra basic attack or an extra attack to help you in combat. So I really like the way that they're doing the spells, and then you can kind of pick and choose the spells that you want as you level up. You start out with, I started as a warrior, so I started with particular ones, but I'm getting to pick and choose as I go. And I'm going to reach to a certain point. I'm almost full on spells now, so any new spells I get, I'll be able to start kind of culling out maybe some of the spells I'm not using as much or don't like as much for other things that I want to use. But at the same time, I've got to keep in mind that I'm able to equip 4 different companions, and they all take a different currency to bring them out. So I've got to be able to still bring out these companions to help me along the way, because they're not like immortal. They will die during a combat, and you'll get them back the next combat. But they can die for that combat. So if you're not getting more companions out and then not able to get all your companions out, you're kind of wasting some of the potential you have in a fight.
Is it like Wakfu and some of their other titles, where it's like the tile-based strategy movement on the map type deal, or is this doing something a little bit different than some of their earlier titles?
No, they're the combat itself is turn-based on the tiles. One of my little pet peeves is you don't always turn towards the thing that you're attacking when you're using spells and stuff, but that's just a minor pet peeve. Just one of them little things you look for when you're nitpicking a game, which is what I'm going to do for something like this. But when you're out in there's also sort of an overworld, an open world. It's not necessarily an open world, but an overworld where you're on certain islands where you're going around and getting different quests and stuff. And it's still tile movement, but it's obviously not turn based at that point. You can just keep moving till you get to the quest giver.
Right.
And what I like about that is you can travel from island to island on your little boat, but a lot of these quest givers, whenever you pick up the quest form, they'll just automatically teleport you to whatever quest they're going to give you, so you don't have to go, like, run all the way back to your boat, kill the thing, then run all the way back to the island to the quest giver. It teleports you in there, lets you do the fight, teleports you back to where the quest giver is, so that you can finish everything. And another thing that I
it
really,
looks
really,
cute.
yeah, it's super awesome. It's as Aspen would have said back in the day, super cozy,
Yeah,
cozy
definitely.
and cute.
Dom, you and I love strategy games, Rabbids, Final Fantasy Tactics, that type of stuff. I never played Dofus. I kind of started at MMOBomb like after Dofus was a thing, but I did do Wakfu for a little while. What are you thinking as you look at this?
It looks good. It looks interesting. It looks like it's right up my alley. It's definitely a game I'm going to check out. So
Excellent. Let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Time for the weekly bombs, where everybody gives us an A bomb or a dub bomb for something good or bad in the world of gaming. Chat, get yours in there as well. And the question of the week, which last week was, is Star Wars The Old Republic changing developers a good sign or a bad sign for the MMORPG's players? To Cal, saying A bomb to Troy stands for your take on Starfield. But another A-bomb goes to Reddit mods. You morons inconvenience the rest of us because you were mad at what one business charges another business to use its technology. F all y'all. Personally, I kind of agree with the way the mods are going, so I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. It's not just a business-to-business charge. I think there's a little more minutia to what's going on there. But Terra Nova says, "Da-bomb to Star Wars Outlaws. It will be nice to play someone that isn't a Jedi or a Sith." I thought the same thing when I saw that, Troy, that there was something a little different here.
Yeah, it's nice to see something a little different. Like, it's always fun, of course, to play the Jedi or the Sith, but to see a different take on it, like the movie Rogue One, like that was a good take, and there was no Jedi and Sith in that, so that was a good movie. So it's good to see a game kind of go down that path as well.
Dom, go ahead and take the first one from YouTube there. Boxes. Did he didn't have the show notes up, did he?
I did not.
Yeah.
Box Weekly Bomb. Give both an A and da bomb to the PalWorld trailer. It was the one game I was actively looking forward to. I love the trailer and how it showed actual gameplay, but I'm annoyed it's not releasing until January. Guess it'll be Game of the Year for 2024 instead of 2023.
Boy, we're calling our shots way out, aren't we? Go ahead, Troy. Take the next one.
Metallica fan. I bought gold back in the day of Vanilla WoW to clear a debt, as my friend loaned me 1,000 gold for my epic writing skill.
Yeah, so last week, Dom, we were talking about if anybody had ever used like a mod, a cheat, or bought gold or anything like that. Have you ever done anything like that in a multiplayer sense, not like using your Game Genie single player stuff?
Yeah, some unnamed MMO. I had an extra laptop with an extra account that had a farming bot on that I used for gold when I didn't really actually want to play the game anymore. And then that would automatically deposit it into like a public guild bank of sorts, and then I was able to withdraw the things that I wanted. And then that other account ended up getting banned, and my main account didn't. So yeah, I've dabbled in that. I did it for like 2 months. It wasn't like a very long time. And no, it really was.
All of his video games and PC stuff was paid for by this illegal scheme.
No, it got banned right away. It was very fast. But like it was a lot of hassle and a lot of like maintaining, and it's not something that I was interested in. I tried it out to just see like how easy it was to use. It genuinely, it was a problem. Games updating constantly, caused a lot of. It's not.
I just want to see how hard it is to make meth. Just once. I just want to see how hard it is.
Just once.
To make
blue,
some
right?
Meth. Yeah.
It's blue.
It's like Family Guy, right? He's like, all right, we can make one meth. One
singular meth.
That Harv guy says at 5350 in last week's episode, I did apparently use the term legally distinct. And that Harv guy says, Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams, and Secret Hideout, Alex Kurtzman, call that 25% different. Dead on. Other ones from chat. Timbo James says, A-bomb to my mechanic for ghosting me today and keeping me stuck without a car. That sucks. Stojanowski saying, A-bomb to Rockstar, removing 200 vehicles from GTA 5 Online. Worst update ever. Yeah, that would be oof. Question of the week, is Star Wars, The Old Republic, changing developers good or bad for the MMORPG's players? Blah, 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 blah. Yami Kami says, I feel like this is a really bad sign. Judging from the track record, that studio, which is named Broadsword, does neither have the people or talent to make any new content for the game, basically putting it on life support. Don't get me wrong, I happily would like to be proven wrong here. Also, Mike, your wife, talking about Damina getting her hacked World of Warcraft account back, finding out that they had finished off the last 2 levels to max character, and she was pissed because that would have been the first character in an MMO she personally got to max level. Your wife should have told Blizz she wants to reset her character back to level 68. A buddy of mine back in the day did not want to play Wrath of the Lich King anymore, but only the Burning Crusade instead. So he opened a support ticket and asked if they could remove Wrath of the Lich King from his account. They told him that's not possible. Then he asked if he can delete his account entirely. Instead, then, all of a sudden, it was possible to remove Wrath of the Lich King. Who knew? So I bet they would have decreased your wife's character level if she had asked correctly. Maybe at that time, yeah, now they just close your account for you. Like, no, they don't care. They don't care. To Cal in chat saying, question of the week, a game switching to another dev is usually just not a good sign, especially when the dev in question seems to be in the maintenance mode business. Magic 8 Ball says, clock's a tickin', and I kind of felt the same. Like, they run Ultima Online, they run Dark Age of Camelot, which has been nothing but renewals of the in-game events. What do you think, Dom? Good or bad news for SWTOR's future?
It's probably bad news, but it does have the potential to be good. It really depends on the developers, in question and stuff that got it. I know, this is not the best example, but, I feel like some of the gameplay, forget the monetization stuff right now, for Hearthstone, really changed when they switched, internal developers. They brought a whole new team in, and, we had a new character class, we had the Demon Hunter added, the Death Knights in there now. It's stuff that they've originally gone on record saying these things would never get put into the game, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So switching up development teams sometimes is good. Entire companies is maybe a whole nother story.
We shall have to see. Question of the week this week. Let us know in the YouTube comments below and on mmobomb.com underneath the show. It's been a crazy week and a half of gaming shows. I want to know what's the single title you are the most pumped to get your hands on and why. And you know what? I'm going to take the multiplayer restriction off. I just want to hear what has you all excited on the video game front. Give me one title and why are you looking forward to it, multiplayer or not. That's going to do it for today's show. We will be back next Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern here on Twitch with another episode of the Always Online podcast. Dom, it's always a pleasure having you. Until the next time you're here, where can everybody follow you?
You can find me, I think it's over here this time.
You got
Twitter
it. Good job.
Good
job. Troy.
If I'm on the socials, it's at Noob Fridge.
Easy enough. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there at magicman1, but more importantly, follow at mmobomb. That way you'll know every time we go live with a podcast, giveaway, or so much more. Next week, Neverwinter giveaway with the team live stream. Stay tuned. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.